Baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes!
Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
What up?
Yo, Super Bowl! Super Bowl!
It's a Philly thing. I love it, Joe. I love that.
It's a motherfucking Philly thing.
That's right.
You want to talk to the Philly guys, you come fucking see us. Why? Because we're drunk on broad. And guess what we're about to be? Drunk on fucking broad. Why? Because the fucking Super Bowl parade is coming through fucking Philly. That's what we're doing. We're bringing that shit home. Why? Because birds of a feather flock together, motherfuckers. And
That's
we
right.
are there in spirit. We will be traveling there as
Yeah, I
fan
heard
base. Not
I heard
us.
it.
We
I
can't
heard
fool.
it. Oh, listen. I heard
But
the
us
desert
as a collective.
the desert is pretty green from what I can hear.
Man, you already know. You already know that the Birds crew fly. Like, come on. Like, we fly south for the winter, baby. We do what we got to do. And
That's
it's
right. Those
like,
bald
if they
eagles are
thought they're
warm weather
getting
birds.
fully out of the desert, they're fucking nuts. They're nuts. They're nuts.
Oh, good God, man! This is just it's a weird place to be because we are
Chris.
the perennial. We are the favorite, right? And we're it's an unfamiliar seat to sit in, but man, does it feel good.
Mike, you got to make me an admin, bro. Holler at me. Send me a text so I can have the link so I can let people in.
That's right.
I appreciate you. Adam, what's up? I just can't fucking believe it, dude. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, it's Wednesday, and I feel like a terrible fan because I'm not watching, like, mainly because I just haven't had fucking time. Like, work's nuts. Life's nuts. I haven't had time to actually, like, sit down and watch, like, any of the stuff. So I'm watching, like, clips and clips and clips, and I'm getting hyped. Like, I saw a little, like, of the clips of Jalen and Patrick Mahomes on the stage. I watched a little bit of, like, Mama Kelsey and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking awesome. Like, I wish I could do a little bit more. I think Friday will be the day where I can actually, like, sit down, like, after work, throw it on the TV and, like, actually start listening to the coverage. It's just been a fucking crazy week, dude. But I'm so amped. Like, I'm seeing people out, like, in the stores, and it's just hats on, like, go Birds. I'm reffing a game last night, and I'm like, little girl's dribbling. I look over and I see the dude wearing the Eagles hat. I'm like, yo, go Birds. And I'm like, during the game, take the whistle out, go Birds. I'm like, all right, now I got to watch this consolation game. I'm like, dude, I'm just amped up, baby. Like, I'm just go.
Wait, hold on. Did you see what was going on in jury duty?
Oh, were there, what was it, the Go Birds chant? Or?
Yeah. So when they were calling the jury, when they were taking the attendance for jury duty, instead of saying here, they were saying "Go Birds."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's just great. It's great because you see, and this is what we love about sports. It brings everybody together, right? It makes all that other shit that we disagree about disappear, right? And everybody's all on one unified team, man. And everybody's on anybody that wants to jump on the bandwagon, jump on, man. It's just really cool to have this level of excitement in the city, man. And for it to happen so close to feeling like that when we were going through with the Phillies and that World Series run and how that brought the city together. It's just giving me a really good feeling kind of going forward where this city could be when you look at the types of teams that we have in the city.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, like, the Sixers are fucking killing it. You know, Joel Embiid should win his third consecutive MVP. That's just not going to be given to him because the media hates Philly. I mean, the Flyers are what the Flyers are. But
Flyers can't even tank right.
Yeah, they can't even tank right. Like, I've never seen a team, like, be so fucking terrible at doing anything except the Philadelphia Flyers. They're just bad at overall everything. And then you look forward to the Phillies again, pitchers catchers report in a few weeks. Like
In a couple weeks.
Like we're right back in it, man. Like we're right back into the swing of thing of playoff contending teams.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited. Like Super Bowl is fucking Sunday, man. Like
Yeah, man.
Sunday we get to see our birds. It's been 5 years since 2017. And I'm pretty sure somebody called 5 years before their next Super Bowl. I don't know who that was, but I'm pretty sure it was me. I said we have 5 years. And I said it was from 2017. It was a 5-year window for them to get things right.
Yeah.
And right now, we are at that 5th year. We are in that 5-year window. And it all was on the back of Howie doing the right thing. He did the fucking right thing. It's fucking amazing when that happens.
Who would have thought that, though, Rich, when you said that when you did say that it would be a different coach and a different quarterback?
I think it had to be honest with you. Just all signs pointing to it. Because I think you saw what the team was able to accomplish without Wentz, and you knew Doug was going to be on one of the shorter leashes, which is strange for a guy who won a Super Bowl, why he was on such a short leash. But it was because he was so loyal to – nice sweatshirt. He was so loyal to those shitbag fucking assistants that he had that he couldn't let go. And it's nothing bad against Doug. I mean, it shows a lot in his character that he's a loyal dog. You know what I'm saying? He looks out for his people. But at the same time, when those guys aren't getting it done and you want to stand behind them, you're going to be the guy to take the fall.
Right.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't necessarily his fault. Howie got a lot of draft picks really wrong. And I think that's where Howie made the adjustment in himself and said, hey, all right, I got to bring people in who know the game way better than I do. I'll stick to my analytics side and let me bring in a coach who's young, fresh, probably will listen to me, but let's see if he's a player's guy too. So you add in the perfect storm of Carson's not who he is. You get rid of him, you get a shit ton for him that no one ever thought imaginable you would be able to get for him. You bring in Sirianni, who everybody laughs at, and now everybody loves and wants to hand the keys of the city to. Same thing with Gannon. You bring in a young defensive mind. You give him the talent. You see what happens. I mean, I'm still not sold on it, but I watched that video, and you know what? Fuck it. Keep him. I love him.
Yeah. Did you see the shirt that
one of us.
guy's wearing out
One
there?
of us.
He gave.
He's fucking one of us, dude. What can I say? And Jeff Stoutland is the best
Stoutland, you
line
baby.
coach ever.
Yeah. Listen, they're quietly doing everything right. They're locking the guys up, right? They're able to keep guys in house, and you're able to put these guys in position, right? And Howie Roseman, right, deserves all the flowers in the world, right?
Yes.
You overturn this roster really quickly, and are now not only set up. And I think the funniest piece of audio that I heard was the one from Jerry Jones about essentially comparing what the Eagles did this year in terms of their offseason to what the Rams did a year ago, which was completely false.
Yeah.
Right? The Rams essentially go all in and dump everything into 1 year. And the Eagles do that on a different level where they're doing it simultaneously while setting themselves up for the future. Right?
Yes.
In the next 3 years, they have the most picks in the first 3 rounds of any team in the NFL. So you've got a ton of guys on 1-year contracts that you're getting the best out of those guys. And it puts you in a position where you now have first crack at those guys. I just can't, for the life of me, think about anything other than like this team is quite possibly one of the best Eagles teams ever.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that if they win this game Sunday, I don't think there's any question.
No, not at all.
They would be the best Eagles team, probably. Like I'm not even saying that as because this is like, now and the shit that I remember. But I mean, defensively, look at what they're doing. Offensively, look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mina Kimes had a stat that it was when the Eagles go for it on fourth down, they've scored 114 points on drives where they went for it on fourth down.
Yep.
That isn't the most in Eagles history. It's the most this century.
Oh, wow.
Any fucking team in the NFL.
Wow.
How fucking crazy is that?
That's outrageous.
So you look at it from a standpoint of, hey, you have Patrick Mahomes, who's arguably the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Great. Offensive line with Thuney and a bunch of other guys, decent. Running backs, who gives a fuck? Wide receivers, okay. You have one guy, one cog who makes everything, who's spin, Patrick Mahomes. Turn that over and flip. The Eagles defense. It's probably one of the most talented defenses that you'll ever see and ever come across. And then you add in the best defensive line probably in the past 10 years. Then you add in the best offensive line probably in the best 10 years. And then you add in a young and emerging star in Jalen Hurts who is multifaceted to the point where you pick your poison on how you want to die. How do you want to get killed by this?
Right?
Like, I don't want to sell Jalen short because it does sound like I'm selling him short. But you look at how the Eagles lost when he was out, and you see that he was needed. He is the MVP of this team because of what he just controls defensively. Not even what he does offensively. It's what he controls you to do differently on defense. This is one of the greatest teams that you're going to see in Eagles history, if not the best when they win on Sunday. It's just crazy to get to this point with people still poo-pooing your stupid ass Brandon fucking Ayuk. We're still the best fucking team. You're not the best fucking team. If you were the best fucking team, you'd be here. If your coach was that smart, you'd dress 3 quarterbacks. It's extremely pathetic how much they're crying. Joey Bosa hurt his leg. Lane Johnson's playing on a torn adductor muscle. He hasn't fucking said a word.
Right.
If Joey Bosa beat him, I guarantee Lane be like, well, he fucking beat me outright. Doesn't matter if I'm hurt. Dude's better than me. Like, it's so much poo-pooing from other teams saying that we're not good, but they couldn't beat us. But they couldn't beat us.
This effort by the 49ers has been it's felt pathetically desperate.
Yeah, very.
Because it just feels like they're trying to grasp at any straw to stay in the limelight, right? You've heard from Brandon Ayuk. You've heard
and Aaron Rodgers don't want to be your quarterback.
Right. You've heard from a bunch of these guys saying, well, like, you know, if we had this and if we did, but you didn't.
You didn't.
You decided that on that play in the first quarter to put your backup tight end to block quite arguably what should be the defensive player of the year with your backup tight end, and it fucked you. And that's on you. That's not on anybody else. That's on you. You got to look at your coach and go, Coach, what are we doing? Why are we doing that? That's an internal conversation. But like, every way you slice it, this team to me is just it's given me pangs of like looking at like what's the limit for this team, right? Because any way I slice it, man.
I wish the season was longer because I want to see them play more games.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like they reached their full potential as a team yet. I think next year this team is going to be even scarier. We're going to be missing some cogs on the defensive end with, like, you know, James Bradbury most likely being gone, with Kazir White being gone. You're going to see new guys enter, and that's completely fine.
Nakobe Dean.
Nakobe Dean's going to be a fucking monster. I can't wait. I cannot.
That dude right there.
To see him play next year because that dude's all over the field. But it's going to be nuts to see how this offense moves next year with A.J. Brown actually like having that 1 year under his belt and how fucking crazy he was. And how Devonta Smith found it like later on of how crazy these two are going to be. And then insert another number 3 instead of Quez Watkins or Zach Pascal. Say they get like, an uptick in that spot, where you just have another guy who can just get open at will and see how deadly this offense is. And then Jalen's still doing Jalen and the running game still being the running game.
Right.
It'd be fucking scary. And if this defensive line stays intact, maybe Hargraves is most likely going to be on, Fletcher Cox will be gone, but enter the big boy.
Right.
Davis.
We're relenting the fact that Jordan Davis can't even get on the field because of how well these guys are playing. It's really incredible to watch. It's incredible to think that, like, in those two games, they've outscored their opponents 69-14. Yep. That is not a credit to anybody other than the coaching staff and the players that are on this field that are saying, you got to come through us. You got to play us. Forget what you guys got. You got to come play us. And that's kind of the mentality that I'm thinking about right now, is that, like, do I think that this team is good? The Chiefs team, I think they're good. But I think if I go position for position, and if we want to do it, we can.
Yep.
There's a lot of green check marks that I feel like far outweigh the check marks that I would put in the Chiefs column.
I mean, go ahead, Joe. You haven't said anything in a while.
I'm thinking, you can make the argument with Hurts and Mahomes, but I think you're going to go Mahomes just because he's been there before and he's won one, and he's the experience. And he could and might end up being the MVP. But for me, I think it's Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Other than that, if you want to go position by position, defensive line, secondary, offensive line, running back, wide receiver, the Eagles are gonna take all of that.
I mean, Joe, and not for nothing, but like you look at not just like if you go like quarterback for quarterback, but like if you go, the matchup is going to be Kelce, right? Because Kelce can be the safety valve. Kelce can be the guy down the seam. Kelce can be the guy that can get in space.
Yeah,
but like
he shows up in big games,
right? And don't underscore the fact that this is not a big game for Patrick Mahomes, right? Because he's 1-1 in these Super Bowls. Being 1-2 in your Super Bowl resume doesn't look as shiny.
No.
So I think, all right, so let's look at Travis Kelce, right? Who's the guy that you match Travis Kelce up with?
Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, either Gardner Johnson or Avante.
Mathematics. I guess I'm probably going Gardner Johnson first and foremost, just because of I think because of his health, and I think because he's got a knack for the ball, and he's it almost feels like you almost get that feeling like he's due to get a fumble or to get an interception in this game, where he's going to come up with a really big play in this game.
Yeah.
Do you entertain the idea of maybe using Bradbury on him, just size-wise? Just because the guys on the outside, you're not necessarily, if you're looking at Smith-Schuster and you're looking at Marquez Valdez-Scantling, you're looking at Kadarius Toney, can you maybe swap one of those guys out just size-wise and maybe match him up just to switch it up?
I'd rather lock down the outside and have Mahomes throw it to the middle of the field and see what happens.
Okay.
Because what you're going to have to do anyway, you're going to have to chip Kelce off anyway. So you have to hit. I'm hitting Kelce every single time.
Exactly.
If I'm the defense and I'm looking and I'm a defensive end and I'm Gannon, I go wherever Kelce is, you hit him off the line. I don't care what you have to do. You make him uncomfortable.
Rock him on every play. You get 5 yards to touch these guys. Smack him in the mouth all game.
I'm literally hitting him. I'm coming up. I'm hitting him. I'm forcing the timing to be off, and I'm having Mahomes look elsewhere all game. Because Mahomes is going to look, he's going to turn, and he's going to look and try to find Jerick McKinnon out in the flat because that's what he does. you look at, like we said, we'll break it down. Let's go to the running back group. Running back group has been the safety valve and legit some of the best pass catchers for Patrick Mahomes. It just shows you the ineptitude that they have in wide receiver, so they have to force the ball to Jerick McKinnon in the swing and let him, make things happen yards after the catch. We're good at covering that. You've seen it with the running backs who we played against.
And Andy Reid loves that screen game too. So I think you're gonna see, those shovel pass inside screens with Kelce to try to get him the ball. But it's going to be tackling. It's going to be tackling those guys in space, because if they're looking to get those guys in the flat, right, you're going to have to blow up that screen and maybe lag back where you see that screen developing and you try to keep that guy in front of you.
Yeah.
As far is there another matchup that you see with the Chiefs offense that you look where you can take an advantage of? Because there's one in particular that I'm thinking of.
Well, the offensive line.
Which guy? Guy I'm thinking of?
Hassan Reddick. I mean, that's like a match made in heaven for the Birds. It's really going to come down to what are the Chiefs going to do about that? There's no way he's going to be able to handle Reddick on his own. So if they double him or if they chip him, somebody else is going to be one-on-one. You got to make sure that, if Reddick isn't able to get to the quarterback or cause quarterback pressures, you got to be able to have somebody else who can get in and disrupt Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like that matchup with Reddick and Andrew Wiley, right, and part of me thinks like Andy Reid is like, he's a stubborn SOB, man, and he's going to be like, all right, well, I'm just going to try to get my guys in space. I'm going to try to get the ball out early, try to negate that. But the way that Reddick has been playing, man, he's been on a heater where there's no one that is getting in front of him. You're probably going to see them try to double team him, try to chip him. But the great thing about that is that if you try to double team him or chip him, that means that you got three other guys that are going to be one-on-one and it wouldn't surprise me if they run those sets that they ran against the 49ers where they put 5 guys on the line and they just go man for man.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's how you're going to beat. You're going to beat the Chiefs. I don't want to give Mahomes the zone because Mahomes will just pick you apart. Especially if it's a soft zone, Kelce will find the spot, boom, and it'll just be quick hitters, 6 yards each time. And you really don't want that to happen. So you want to force them into man. Make Mahomes think a little bit longer. Mahomes likes to throw it up, man. Mahomes will throw his share of picks. You force him out of the pocket. He likes playing his schoolyard ball. He'll make some crazy plays happen against you, and he'll also turn the ball over. Yeah. You have to make him do that. Zone's not going to help. Disguise the blitz. Bring the blitz home. See what you can do. Get penetration with your front 4 or your front 5, and see what you got. Just make sure you got the check down covered. Make sure you know where McKinnon is at all times. Make sure you know where Travis Kelce is at all times.
Yeah, you got to push
pretty much the key to the game. Juju Smith-Schuster is not going to beat you running 2-yard routes. MVS hasn't had a drop in like 3 weeks. That'll change because that dude has stones for hands. And Kadarius Toney, his hamstring is bound to damn near fall off because it does every single fucking time he touches the ball. So I think you're going to be okay. And Mike, I love the pick because I remember winning a crap ton of money when Von Miller won MVP, and I had him for MVP and getting, I think it was like 2+ fumbles, and I think he had like 2 fumbles, and it was a great time, and that was my first introduction to sports betting. So I like the Reddick at plus 3,000.
No, all right. So the other thing to keep in mind, right, is not only that 5-man line, but that rotation, right? You've got 8 or 9 guys that you can kind of just roll in at any point in time in the game. I think that's going to be something that they look to really try to utilize throughout this game to really keep the pressure on Mahomes, try to push him left, especially with that ankle, try to keep him moving as much as they can. Because I think the more that they can move him off that spot and allow him to be uncomfortable in that movement, the more he's going to be prone for the mistakes.
Yeah.
On the offensive end, we can pick up right where we left off, right? This offensive line, there's conversations that this line is probably not just the best line in Eagles history, not just the best line but like the best line in the last decade of the NFL.
Yeah, I would say that's true.
And the way that I think about this, right? If you think about the guys that we've worried about coming up in these most recent games, right?
Who?
In the games,
You
right? Let's just talk about the two playoff games, right? In the game leading up to when they were leading up to that last game with the Giants and the first playoff game, right? Dexter Lawrence was a guy that was getting a lot of chatter about his production on the field. He basically was invisible in that
I
game.
don't even know who that is. Didn't see him on the field.
Casper the Ghost,
Casper.
right? And then then you talk about the guy, all of the talent that we talked about last week on that 49ers defense, right? With their linebacker talent and Joey Bosa and Greenlaw, and those guys became invisible as soon as this run game got going. Those guys, it literally just negated all of the best players.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not having as much hesitancy when I look at the guy that's probably going to be, if there's going to be a guy on that line that's going to be a difference maker, it's going to be Chris Jones.
Of course it is. I'm just saying it was truly pathetic that Nick Bosa had more fight in him on that Sunday than Joey did.
Yeah. Wow.
Because Nick wanted to fight the Eagles fans and Joey was nowhere to be found. And I think I seen more action clips from Nick than Joey. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty incredible that Joey just took his balls and tucked them into his sock, and that's why they were bleeding. And that's it. He's got those sad, saggy, bloody balls. Fuck him. I'm over it, dude. I'm over being nice to these fucking teams because it's crazy. You come to Philly, you disrespect Rocky, nobody fucking learns. It's a terrible thing to do. Leave our statue alone, all right? We don't go to the Golden Gate Bridge and paint it fucking green, ugly.
Go Birds.
Yeah, and fucking write "Go Birds" on it. We have class.
Yeah.
Which Bosa brother did I have confused? Which one? Joey plays for the San Fran, right?
Nick plays for San Fran.
Nick plays.
Oh, Joey had more fight then. Fuck them. I don't even know.
Whatever.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Whatever. Fuck the Boses.
Yeah, fuck the Boses. See, that's why I don't even know about them, guys, because they weren't fucking there. They weren't even there.
Invisible.
No, but I look at that, and that offensive line has the ability to be able to negate a guy like Chris Jones, right? You can turn that running game. I wouldn't be surprised if they turn this into just a grind it out, try to grind out as many drives as they can. Right, Joe, talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you go player by player, position by position. Our offensive line versus their defensive line. Like you said, Chris Jones is really the only big time guy you got to worry about. Maybe Frank Clark too, but if Lane's able to handle Nick Bosa, you better believe he's going to be able to handle a guy like Frank Clark.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I saw a stat today too. The Chiefs' defense in the red zone with touchdowns versus field goal, is 30th.
I was going to say they're in the bottom third.
30th in the NFL, and the Eagles' offense in the red zone is third.
Okay.
So obviously, you got to get touchdowns when you got to get inside the red zone. But I just think that this offensive line is so locked in and so dominant right now that I don't think anybody's going to get in our way. I think we're going to be able to do whatever we want, whenever we want, at will. And I think the Chiefs' defense hasn't seen an offense like this the whole season.
Yep.
You've got a quarterback that can throw the ball on a dime. You've got a quarterback that can run the ball, and then you've got a power O-line and a running game that can gash you. So pick your poison.
Yeah.
Hashtag fucking Moses.
Yeah. But that, Joe, I think that's where I look at, and then the other matchup, right? You look on the outside, you look at guys that, you've got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith that both had 1,000-yard seasons this year. And they're going to get matched up against, two rookies.
What happened to Snead? Is he available?
I think he's available. Yeah,
Okay.
he's not. I mean, he's not listed on an injury list.
I think
He did have a concussion, but I think he did clear protocol.
I think he's going to play.
Okay.
I like that matchup. I think that's something
Good
that
luck.
they can exploit. And if you lock down both of those guys, Dallas Goedert. You want to lock down Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, Hurts on an RPR. Like, there are so many ways that this team take away one thing, will beat you with another thing.
Yeah.
Right? So where that's where I feel like that's where the advantage is. And this team is so loaded with so many weapons and so many options. It's not just a bunch of talented guys, but they have options that they can check out of something and say, all right, well, we don't like this, but we're going to go to this. Yeah, if this guy's not open, this guy is. If they're going to double team these two guys, they're just, there's not enough talent, I feel like, on this side of the ball for the Chiefs to be effective enough to stop this team. I don't want to feel this good, but I feel fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a
It's a weird spot.
We're not used to feeling this way
No.
because
This is what Patriots fans felt like all those years.
Must be.
it's wild, man. It really is wild. I hate the 2-week layoff. I really do. It drives me nuts.
Oh god, it's been driving me nuts, man.
I just want to see it. Just want it to happen.
Play already.
Oh,
It's just, man, it's just such a good time, dude. It's just
It really-
such a good time. I was just thinking about shit today, and I'm like, we're here again.
yeah.
It wasn't that long. It feels
No.
good. It
Definitely
feels right.
was.
The Eagles are staking their claim, and it's nice to see that we didn't do it the way the Rams did and have nothing and traded for, this, that, and the other, and just go out at the trade deadline and say, hey, we need this guy, we need this guy, we need this guy, and this is what we're trading, this is what we're trading. It's like, no, all right, yeah, we went out, we signed Joseph, we signed Sue, we got Gardner Johnson before the season, we got A.J. Brown, we did what we had to do to solidify 2 positions, and I'm like, yeah, it just feels right. It feels right. It didn't feel like that all the dream team feels like. Can Jalen Hurts prove everybody wrong? Yes. Can A.J. Brown and Jalen get on the same thing? Yes. Is Devonta Smith as smooth as he was in college? Yes. Is Bradbury cooked? No. It just so many boxes were just checked.
Yeah, everything checked off. And listen,
great.
we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll do predictions, and then we'll reminisce about this day 5 years ago.
Von C Brewing Company is a 20-barrel, 16,000-square-foot microbrewery with a 2,500-square-foot tasting room, including a spacious outside beer garden in Norristown, PA, in the heart of Montgomery County. The Von C family is part of the family that started C. Schmidt and Son Brewing in 1860. Stop in Wednesday through Sunday and taste a variety of draft and 16-ounce cans of originally brewed beer and tell them the Drunk on Broad crew sent you. Von C Brewing is located at 1210 Stenbridge Street, Suite 300 in Norristown. Cheers.
Team Clicks are the only glasses for real sports fans. With interchangeable arms, you can support all of your favorite teams, or even make and create custom options as well. These die-hard sports fans have realized that sports fans needed something other than face paint to show their love and passion for their teams. Go to teamclicks.com/DOB and show your love for your hometown team.
La Torrens curated collection of men's and women's watches is a perfect investment that lasts for years to come and fits perfectly with your every outfit and style. Our range of classic watches aren't just a great perfect formal and casual accessory, but a time machine that takes you back to memories. Explore our collection of timeless watches that can reflect your taste, personality, and personal style. Our exclusive collection of carefully curated, affordable luxury watches is what you need to make a personalized style statement. You can take pride in your prized possession, handing it over to the next generations as your most loved asset that they can also own and display with the same pride. These high-quality pieces stand the test of time, giving exceptional value and return on your investment. Go to la-touraine.com and use code DOB at checkout and get 10% off.
If you're looking for unique sports apparel, check out Streaker Sports. They've dug deep into the archives and have brought back some incredible defunct team logos and have even created entire defunct league collections. They also have collections paying homage to sports culture, including the Miracle on Ice, Slap Shot, Caddyshack, the Mighty Ducks, and even have a license with Wiffle Ball and USA Hockey. Only for Drunk on Broad listeners, use code BROAD at checkout to get 10% off anything at streakersports.com. Again, that's 10% off anything at streakersports.com with discount code BROAD.
Welcome back. And
Gentlemen.
as promised, you want to start with predictions, fellas?
Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Rock and roll.
Here we go. I'm gonna go first. I don't see where this team doesn't score points. So
Okay.
for me, I'm looking in. I want to say that this is a 31-27 win
Okay.
for the Birds. I think this is everybody gets a little touch of the end zone. I think there are 4 touchdowns.
Okay.
4 touchdowns and a field goal, I think. But my key play happens on the defensive end.
Okay.
I think I think Mike cashes in that MVP ticket with the high odds. I think this is a Hassan Reddick coming out party. I think he has a Von Miller-esque game record type of game. I think he's got multiple sacks, a strip sack, turnover. Maybe one of those strip sacks gets returned for a touchdown. Mike, I think maybe you might parlay that into a defense. See what the odds are to add a defensive touchdown for the Eagles.
Okay.
I think Hassan Reddick gets the MVP.
I like it. Joe, what do you got, Bob?
Yeah, that's funny you say that, Don, because I put that on Twitter. I can't remember if it was today or earlier in the week, but that was the exact score that I had too.
Stop it!
I swear.
Stop.
Swear,
That's good,
hey,
Joe.
hey,
That's a good sign.
Hey, do you have Alexa?
Oh, I did hear this.
Guess what? It's true.
The script.
I did it. I did it in my house, and it says the same thing.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
It's great. But yeah, 31-27. I think they're gonna have a really big rushing attack game, and I think they're gonna hit you with all of them. I think it's gonna be Sanders. I think it's gonna be Scott, and I think it's gonna be Gainwell. But I think AJ Brown's gonna is really gonna show up in this game because he hasn't had a great postseason so far, and I think he was really pissed off that he wasn't part of that San Francisco game. You could tell, you could see it in his demeanor. I mean, I know he was happy that they won, but ballers want the ball.
Most definitely.
And the dude is a baller, so he's gonna get his. But yeah, 31-27 Eagles. And I see Hassan Reddick having a really good game as well on the defensive side. And I think CJ Gardner Johnson gets a pick.
Ooh.
What's the old adage? History repeats itself. History repeats itself. I'm going. My final score is going to be 33-26. Birds.
Okay.
And it's going to be a BG strip sack fumble recovered by Hassan Reddick to ice the game. Ice the game. That's going to be my play of the game because history loves to repeat itself. And I think BG is going to go out there with a chip on his shoulder because he said he's not done yet. And I know
I like it.
The better days are ahead of our boy, and he's saving it for this game. I think Reddick's still going to feast. I'm still looking at over 5 sacks for the Eagles' defensive line. I think they're going to get home. I think it's going to be Eagles early. I think the Eagles jump out to a 14-point lead early. Mahomes is playing catch-up. Mahomes going to throw 2 picks. He's going to have that costly strip sack fumble, and Hurts is going to do what Hurts does, just pick you apart in any way that he wants. Miles Sanders is going to get his last touchdown as an Eagle before he hits free agency, and it's going to be a great way to celebrate his career with the Eagles and all his contributions this season. A.J. Brown's going to have a big game, but I'm also looking at Dallas Goedert, showing you who the elite tight end is on the field. Dallas Goedert going 6 for 90 and a touchdown. Just gonna have one of those games, and we get to that 33-point mark. Mahomes going to be coming down on his 40. He's going to be dropping back, looking, and then boom, the BG strip sack fumble recovery by Hassan Reddick, baby.
I love it.
33-26.
Wow, I love it. Listen, Adam, you got him in a boat race. Good Lord, 45-13.
Adam's smoking on that loud.
Woo!
Adam's got that good stuff in that pipe. What you got in there, cuz?
Listen,
shit. I wish, man. 45-13, that'd be fucking nuts.
Listen, Adam, that's a rocking chair ride. God damn.
I don't think I'd be sitting down. I'd be bricked up all game. Damn, I'll be doing Cialis ads. Be like, you don't need Cialis. Watch the Eagles Super Bowl game. You an Eagles fan? Show you how to keep 4 hours. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Damn. Yeah, and listen,
Blue shoes.
If you have not come across or checked out, go check out the Fired Up. They put together a pretty sweet Eagles hype video. It's getting a lot of traffic, but it was a ton of fun to just watch, go through, reminisce through the season.
It was a great video, Mike. It was good. I watched it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Apparently the
I saw that.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
I love the funniest thing I think is I love how all the players are kind of jumping in on it.
Alvin Kamara. when I saw the script, I almost retired. It's like, man.
Listen, today was a special day in Eagles history, man. That I had to go in and bust out the Super Bowl short from 5 years ago. Being down there and being a part. First of all, start off. Were either one of you down there?
No, I was.
No, I couldn't get off work. They said if we went, we'd be fired.
I made it.
Joe, where were you?
I froze my nuts off, but man, it was so worth it. I was.
Go ahead.
I was right there on the Benjamin, right on the Parkway, like probably maybe 1,000 feet from the stage.
Okay.
And that was as close as I got because the only way I would have gotten even closer is if I had gotten there. If I had drove, I took public transportation. They preached everybody take public transportation. Everybody take public. So if I had drove, I would have gotten there earlier because then nobody drove.
Yeah, nobody drove.
Nobody drove. But it was like a sea of people. Everybody was getting fucked up. It was just, dude.
We were down, Joe. Right? Do you know where the Philadelphian is? Like right next to the art museum. So we were somewhere in between. We were kind of facing the art museum, but like on the Fairmount side. But man, just seeing the people climbing trees, climbing trash trucks, but it was just such a great celebration and kind of a release. And you know that the thing that I've been hearing all week is like that one was for everybody that kind of came before, right? And all the people that had been a diehard Eagles fan for their entire life that never got to experience that, right? People bringing their parents, bringing loved ones' ashes, people bringing photos and memories and stuff, right? This one I feel like this one is for us, right? That one was for everybody that can't. This one is for us. But that day, man, that was just such a great day to be down there, and just kind of just literally just streets are closed, sea of people, and Joe, did you hear any of the Kelsey stuff live?
Yeah, I heard everybody talk, but the sound quality and the crowd and just the total like mayhem and chaos and the shenanigans that were going on down there kind of blocked some of that stuff out. But I have videos of the crowd. I have videos of, you know, the idiots that were climbing the poles and climbing the trees that, you know, looked like they'd probably have trouble walking, let alone climbing a 40-foot tree.
I've seen some people fall out of those trees in the videos.
Yeah, man. It was the kind of day. It was a memory that you'll never forget. And you tell your kids that, and your grandkids that, and your friends and your family and strangers, everybody, because it's something that you've wanted and looked forward to and dreamed about your whole life as a diehard fan. You know, it's this city and this fan base. You know, this is what you want. This is because we care. We care so much, and we just want to get to that level, and we want to get back there and do it again. And this opportunity that we have on Sunday is, you know, we might not get it again. You can't take it for granted.
No,
yes,
not at all.
We've got a young team and we've got some young stars and this and that, but you know, we thought that we might get back when we won in 17.
Yeah,
we had the coach. We thought we had the quarterback.
We were wrong.
And that shit went right out the window. So you can't take it for granted. You've got to take advantage of this golden opportunity. You get home field advantage for the playoffs. You beat the Giants. You beat the 49ers. It's all right in front of you. And this Super Bowl comes through.
Joe, you froze.
This Super Bowl comes through Philly, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Set.
All right.
Love it.
Fellas, what's your game day like? What's Sunday look like for you?
Oh, man. Sunday, you know, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to look out the window. I'm going to piss excellence, because that's what I expect. I'm going to look at my wife. I'm going to tell her I love her. I want her to, you know, I'm not even going to ask for forgiveness. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to ask for permission. I'm going to ask for forgiveness off the bat. Forgive me for what I say, not for what I do. Because today is going to be the day. And then I'm going to watch Ollie swim in the pool, you know, because he has swim lessons. I'm going to do the dad stuff in the morning. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to think, what the fuck's going to happen today? Are my Birds going to come out and kick the shit out of some Chiefs? I fucking think so. I think so. Is the desert going to be burning with the blood of the Chiefs? Is it going to be flowing? Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to look worse than the Alamo, baby. Like that's what's going to happen. It's going to be bad. It's going to be fucking bad. Davy Crockett in his stupid fucking raccoon hat. It's going down. And that's Patrick Mahomes. He's Davy Crockett. We're the Federales. I'm just fucking around. It's just gonna be. It's gonna be fun. We'll take Ollie to swim, and I'm gonna come home, wait for my pops to get over.
Pops is coming over.
Yeah, pops gonna come over. My cousin Big Dan, Nick, I think is gonna come by.
Nice.
Possibly my buddy Pat. And it's just gonna be rowdy. It's gonna be one of those things. Get those knuckleheads together. We're gonna be shouting. We're gonna be watching the game, and just
A lot of shouting.
It's going to have some food. What's your game day food looking like? That's what I want to know. I know what your guys' day's like, Don. You're going to have your shrines up. You're going to be doing your Eagles exercises, just going reading a bunch of shit.
Lord.
Joe's just getting done working 38 hours the night before.
Yeah, you know what? It'll be a lot of like Lacey's working on Sunday, and that's it. She don't want to hear it, but that's a good omen because 5 years ago she worked. It's a good sign.
It's a good sign.
Yeah, we got my brother's one of his kids' birthday parties in the afternoon. He's a big sports kid, wanted to have a big Super Bowl birthday party.
That's
so
cool.
They're doing that in the afternoon, and then we'll come home, we'll settle in. My guess is that we'll probably order some food, probably some pizza, some wings, some good comfort food, and get all that shit out of the way before 6:30 rolls around, and just nestle in, man. Just front and center, surround sound on. It's going to be loud, and just try to live in that moment, and just try to be a ton of fun. I'm kind of blending a little bit of some good karma from this year and last year. Joe, that jersey's 2-0, brother. I'm gonna be wearing number 20 on Sunday. And then the last time I was going back to look through the Super Bowl photos from last year.
Yeah.
I was wearing a Wentz jersey, but I was holding the signed Ron Jaworski ball the entire game.
There you
go. I'm blending two things that feel good to me for Sunday, and it's just gonna be all good vibes all day Sunday.
Good shit.
All good.
So drunk. That Super Bowl, I don't remember what I was wearing. I don't remember. I might have had pants on. I'm not sure. I might have not. It was. I was drunk when I said that. Ricky, you could be first, second. Hell, you could be 28th.
If you ain't first, you're last.
You ain't first, you're last. I was high when I said that, Ricky.
All right,
Joe,
John,
what about you, bud?
What do we got, Joe?
We didn't hear about Joe's day. Jesus Christ,
Joe.
John.
What do you got, Joe? I got trigger happy.
What is Joe? Joe's gonna wake up Sunday. I'm thinking we're probably gonna go to mass on Sunday. I think it's a good day to go to mass.
Okay.
Pray for the birds, and a W. If you can do that, I don't know if it's
that eagle is a bird of prey, Joe.
But we're good. We're gonna try it. We're gonna see if it works. But yeah,
Joe, you gotta ask Father to play on Eagles Wings on the way out the door.
Yeah, can I have a song request?
On Eagles Wings,
the breath of dawn.
We're all gonna join in and do the bird.
There we go.
That would be epic. That would be epic.
Buffalo chicken dip.
Okay. Need the chicken dip.
Probably Conshohocken tomato pie.
Oh, the Conchi tomato pie.
Italian roast pork sandwiches.
Ooh, that's a good one, bub.
A soft pretzel tray.
Oh yeah.
Several desserts that I'm not aware of.
Nice.
And it's obviously some adult beverages.
Adult beverage.
Nice.
And
my
Brian Dawkins t-shirt.
Okay.
On this whole playoff.
Okay.
And when they won the Super Bowl, I was wearing my Nick Foles jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be wearing that. And on top of that, I'll be wearing my AJ Brown former Wentz jersey.
Okay. All right. Layered up, baby. It's
like
going to
it.
be cold. It's going to be cold.
Yeah.
I like
So,
it.
that's pretty much it. But
I'm at it.
I have to get up for work at my normal time on Monday.
Yeah.
Whatever shenanigans I get into, I'm gonna have to wrap it up kind of early. So I'm hoping that the Eagles do the same thing because I really don't want to be stressed out late on Sunday.
Joe,
Agreed.
Joe, whatever it is, it's nothing a couple of caffeinated beverages can't take care of.
How about it, man? How about it?
Just rock. Listen, I will tell you nobody at school's listening, right? Last time they won 5 years ago, I left the house right after the game. My brother was bartending in Glenside. We drove. So my parents drive from their house, pick us up. We drive over there. We were there until God, had to be 4 o'clock in the morning. I literally came home, slept for an hour and a half, and drove to school the next day because we weren't allowed to take off.
Dude. Yep. Yeah, I had to work the next.
And just drank coffee all day long. Came home Monday afternoon and just crashed.
Yeah.
But it was incredible because the whole time, all during the school day, all we were doing was we were showing the game, showing highlights of the game, talking to the kids about the game. It was great.
Yep, a party,
Just
man.
incredible.
An endless party. Will you guys be able to go to the parade if they win?
Job. Well, I've already told my principal that
When is the parade date? When
they haven't said anything yet because they're trying to reduce the mush factor. But I've heard that it's either Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh, okay.
I will most likely flex my day to Saturday at work so I could go. Or I caught the itis and then
Rich, I believe they call that the bird flu.
Oh, I got the bird flu again.
Sorry.
Bird flu. 5 years ago, the bird flu struck me. Never recovered. It's a weird 5-year flare up. Bird flu.
Well, gentlemen, any final thoughts, man? I mean, it's all good vibes. It's all good stuff coming out, man. I'm gonna harp on the fact that I love Rich, what you were talking about earlier, everybody wearing Philly stuff, and just the Go Birds walking out the supermarket, going into Wawa. But a special shout out to Dawn Staley. Have you seen Dawn Staley recently? Throughout this whole run through the playoffs, every time she's coaching a game for South Carolina, she's got something Kelly Green, something Eagles on.
Oh yeah.
She's been coaching with she had the Reggie White sweatshirt jersey. She had the old Flying Eagle vert. God, it's just so cool to see that level of hometown pride on display. So it's all Birds, go Birds.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off that. I mean, fucking right. Let's go Birds. It's Super Bowl week, baby. If you're not amped up, we didn't do a good job amping you up, then that's fucking on you. All right? Never complacent with one. Let's get number 2. 2 in 5 years. That's a fucking great thing for our franchise. It's a great thing for this fan base that just bleeds green. And we are a football-first city. So we're going to represent, South Jersey to Norristown to King of Prussia to fucking Blue Bell. All fucking over, dude. We're going to fucking represent because we're about our birds and we're about our green. So let's fucking go. Let's get it done. Let's show them that we're not fucking frauds. Let's shut these crybaby bitches up, the fucking 49ers. We're a better team than you. It's like what the bully said after he gets his dick kicked in. It's fucking you want to paint us to be the villain, but we just did everything right. So shut the fuck up. We stole your lunch money. Get back in line. Better luck next year, pussies. So Eagles, baby. It's Super Bowl time. Let's get it. Fuck you all, and let's just take it home, baby. Let's take it home.
Good shit, Rich. Good shit.
What you got, Joe?
You got a final thought, Joe?
I'm going with shout out to Nick Sirianni. you know, him coming here, and we didn't really know much about the guy. He didn't have a ton of legit coaching experience. You know, he didn't have a great first year. But this year, you know, I think he was able to really get the guys on board. You know, Howie added, obviously Howie gets some credit too for the players that he's added, but the ability for this coach to get these guys to buy in and be on the same page and love each other and be there for each other, and for him to embrace and connect with his players in this city and to get where they've gotten so far is remarkable. So for me, this shout out is from my man Nicky Sirianni.
I like it.
That's it.
Go fucking Birds.
Go
That's it.
Birds!
Go Birds.
Rich, you want to take us out?
Man, y'all, Super Bowl week, you stuck around, you fucked around, you found out. Big fuck you to the Chiefs. Big fuck you to Sean Watson. Big fuck you to Spike Eskin. And a big fuck you to all of Chiefs Kingdom. Why? Because you're about to get ran the fuck over. Just keep sitting there being cocky. You got the golden shot of the NFL, yeah. But don't worry. Jalen's waiting in the wings, baby. And on Eagles, we fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. Fuck off. We're drunk on broad. I'm Rich. That's Don. And that's Joe. And it's go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds, baby! Let's
See
go!
you when we're the champs, motherfuckers.
Let's go! Super Bowl!
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.